The Beethoven leads me to another aspect of music making. Mr. Szigeti, do you have any observations to make about audiences?
You want me to talk about the coughing during the Beethoven sonata? No. No. Well, I always consider that those countries, like Australia and Russia and Japan, that could promote 6 or 7 or 9 or 10 concerts in a row, got to know and love their performers more than Paris or Berlin or London or Amsterdam. Because in practically all these centers, the artist comes and goes and returns next year, and there is not that sense of continuity.
May I ask you now, what is your attitude towards teaching?
I have a feeling of it's being slightly indecent to continue to play such an instrument as ours, where we produce what we convey to the listener. We produce it with our lifeblood, so to say, like a singer. In the case of a keyboard instrument, this is not so. It's not so intimate. It's not so linked with your whole nervous system, with the sympathetic system, which is uncontrollable, like blushing is uncontrollable, or going pale is uncontrollable. So I felt, when I made my last recording here in London.
What year was that?
That was 1961. I made the Beethoven Concerto for the 3rd time in my life, which is a great privilege anyway. I made it twice before with Bruno Walter. Those are the records I suppose you were brought up on.
The old Columbias.
Yes. And I simply felt that one has to call it a day at a certain moment. There is a great deal of satisfaction when a musician at the end of his life is able to pass things on, when he is able to deposit the things he has thought about and the convictions he arrived at, when he can say, when the moment of parting comes, that he did leave not only memories of his performances, not only recordings, which anyway have a rather short life in our time, as you know. When you were a young musician, student, you could count on recordings remaining in circulation for 8, 10, 15 years. I mean, you didn't count because you were in your teens, but
now they come and go.
Now they come and go. It is so ephemeral that one should seek a more direct depositing. And this depositing is really only possible by word of mouth and example.
I think we should end this program with one of your most recent recordings.
Well, you know how it is. All my children are favorites. So I'm happy to know that this little talk, which also is one particle of my urge to communicate, will reach many people, I suppose, thousands of people who have never heard me except on record.
And the Beethoven Violin Concerto brings to an end this edition of Talking About Music devoted to Joseph Szigeti, in which you heard the voice of the master himself and Manu Parikyan paying homage. So this is John Amis saying goodbye from London.